Hello there, and welcome. It's been a while. I've got a few game pickups I thought I'd show off and go through and have a little bit of chat about Legend of Zelda and particularly Castlevania. But I'd like to just, first of all, I don't normally get political, but I'm going to just say this, and I'll keep it as least colourful in terms of language as I can. I'd like to just say to the UK government, do one. And to Keir Starmer, the communist twat. But I'm going to leave it there because I think this online safety bill is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard, ever seen, and will ever believe. But I'll leave it there. Apologies, I don't normally get political, but I like to call that communism when I see it, and that's what we have currently in our current government. Evil, totally evil in every way. But anyway, back to the gaming, the things that count and the things that matter. Okay, so first, we have Resident Evil Outbreak. Never played it before. I didn't. Only one I played was Code Veronica. It's the only one I've got. Unfortunately, the case and the manual, are in really, really good condition. Sadly, the disc is pretty terrible. You won't be able to see it in the light reflection, I think. But it's pretty bad, especially over here. So it runs, but I will be replacing this disc because it's not good condition, unfortunately. But the rest of it is really, really quite good condition. Next on the agenda, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. I've already filmed this once, and I called it Twilight Princess for some reason. I'm not sure why I did that. But I got this off eBay. I was going to buy it new, but it was £49. I got it for 32, including post and package. Never played Skyward Sword, so I am kind of looking forward to seeing what this one's all about. I've been told it's one of the not a bad game, but it's not as good as the other ones. Obviously, it's not. I'm imagining going to meet up with things like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, but they are. Although they're Zelda, they're completely different genres. This is more linear, from my understanding. So this is also on Wii, and if you're interested in this game, and if you got a Wii, maybe get it on Wii because it's like 10. It's like 10 quid. Or £15. It's not that expensive, and you also get like a gold remote if you get the limited edition version. So I mean, you can get it's a steelbook for this as well. So, but yeah. So I can't complain for second hand, £32. I still got Link's Awakening, which I'm only about halfway through, and is it Echoes of Wisdom, which I haven't even played, although I did show a video of it a while on my last video about like Zelda and stuff. There's still Oracles of Ages, Oracle of Seasons on Game Boy Color that I've never played. I imagine they're quite expensive games to get hold of, so I guess we'll see on that one. But I've got a Game Boy player, so I have the ability to play it. It's just whether or not I'll drop the money on it. And Minish Cap is one I do want to get hold of if I can, because that looks quite interesting. Although you can play it on the Nintendo Switch store, the Nintendo Classics sort of catalog. So if you're looking to try it out, maybe try it in there because it's not that expensive. And obviously, also you've got Switch 2 out at the moment that's out. I'm just waiting, one, to have the money, and two, to see if anything comes out that's worthwhile playing. Because right now, I'd love to play Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild at 60 frames a second, higher resolution. But you know what? I'm quite happy with the normal base Switch version. And it's $64.99 unless you pay, I think it's like £8 and you can get it upgraded digitally. But again, as a PC game, my Steam library is all digital, and I'm quite happy with that. But with consoles and that, I really, really do want physical as much as possible. Although some of the games, like Doom: The Dark Ages on PS5, there's no data on the disc. It's all download only. And I think there's a new Xbox game coming out where it's on both platforms and it's only physical on Xbox. It's just kind of weird. So yeah, I'm fighting a losing battle at the end of the day when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But nah, I'm still quite happy to have physical. And also, you ever get into the situation where you financially, in a bad financial situation, as much as you don't want to, and as long as they work, it's always nice to have the ability to sell the stuff because some of this stuff will go for reasonably decent prices later on. Next one on the Castlevania thing, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. I've never played it. I've loaded it up on my 3DS to try it out. This is the American version. I don't think the camera's going to focus, to be honest, but we can try. So I checked it was a real thing. It wasn't a fake or a copy, because there unfortunately does seem to be a lot of fakes of DS. Oh no, it's focused now. It doesn't. Of DS games and particularly Game Boy Advance games. You have to check. As far as I'm aware, it looks authentic to me. It's the American version. And again, you get manuals. I like the American. The American manuals are just the manuals, and the cases are just nicer. I think a lot of the American stuff is just generally nicer than a lot of the PAL stuff. Particularly, as I said before, in PS2 games, the cases look a lot nicer. GameCube games, I don't mind the PAL ones, but I like the look of the American ones with the GameCube badge at the bottom. It looks kind of cool. And the PS2 games, as I said, they're so much more interesting looking, the American ones and the Japanese, than the PAL ones. The PAL ones just look just bland as hell. They're just boring. It's the same on some of the PS3 ones as well, because I've got Metal Gear Solid, the Legacy Collection, which I believe was only a US and maybe a Japanese. I think it was a US release. I don't know about Japanese. So yeah, as I said, the last one of the videos did a while back, I did Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage 3 I still haven't got my hands on, and Golden Axe 3 is another one that I haven't had the chance to get hold of, because it didn't come out in PAL territories, so that's really annoying. And it's also £234 for a Japanese. I think it's a Japanese version. So, but yeah, really, really cool. I'm really glad to have this now. This one, Zelda, was £32, including post and package. This one came in at £29.38, including post and package. I just like that. There's just. I wish it'd focus, but I don't think it's gonna. I am using my phone still. If anyone can recommend a decent camera for so I can do these videos like this, I really would appreciate it, because I really don't know what to look for. But yeah, so yeah, I'm glad I picked that up. I wasn't going to pick these up. I just caught my eye. I thought, interesting, because I've got the collections. I've got the anniversary and the advance It says advance, but one of the games on there is a DS game, I believe. So yeah, so they're about 15 to £20 each for the 3 or 4 games of collection. That's the best way to play these, unless you like me, you really want the physical. And then Dawn of Sorrow. There is also another one that's called Area of Sorrow. Now I don't know if that's a prequel or a sequel. As I said, I've not even played it, but as you can see, again, the PAL ones just look bland. The white, but there's no real coloration to it as such. But and the cases are bigger as well. And this one came in at £34.99. This is pretty mint as well. So I'm well chuffed with this. I have been playing a bit of the Battlefield 6 beta. I'm not very good at it, honestly, but it's not bad. And you saw that live on camera. I just dropped it on the floor. So I've played about half an hour of Battlefield 6, and it's not bad. It's one of those games you have to play with people, though, because I can't shoot for shit. I really can't. Nice dog hair there, as you can see. So hopefully it still works. I will be ripping these to the 3DS at some point, probably this weekend. But you have to do. There's a slight difference with the DS games. You have to move some files in your directory on the SD card, and then you can basically rip these. I don't know if it's an American thing, but the manual for the PAL one is in colour. Now, I don't know if that's the same for the American version of this game. Luckily, all DS games, well, the majority of them, are all region-free anyway, so you've got no real issues. I don't know about Japanese, but I would assume so. Really nice artwork as well. So, yeah. So, really, really nice. The original DS as well, model. But Julius Belmont. And if you like Castlevania, watch the Netflix series. The first series is 4 seasons, I think, and then the second one is 2, and it's really, really, really good. I thought they were excellent. because the first series focuses on Simon Belmont, and then the second is it Simon Belmont? I think it's no, it's not Simon, is it? I can't remember now. And then the other ones focuses a few hundred years later on. I think it's Richter, which is from is it Rhonda of Blood, which is a game I've never cleared, and they both have oh god, forgot his name now, from Symphony of the Night, Dracula's son, Alucard. No idea what Lost in Blue is. Never heard of it. Have you? That's cool though. That's kind of cool. I might have to put it up in like a picture frame or something maybe. But there is another one to this, so I probably will try and get hold of the other DS games at some point. This collecting thing becomes a bit of a... It's both good and bad, because it becomes a bit of a bug after a while. You start spending money needlessly, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have bought that, because I wasn't going to buy these at all. The only thing I wanted really was the Zelda game, and obviously Resident Evil. And these just come up on eBay. I was like, there's a few bids on them. Not many bids. I was like, 20, 30 quid. I want to keep adding to my games collection. But it's time and money more than anything, and not going silly with this sort of stuff, because it can get ridiculously expensive. The most I've ever spent with this game collection per game was Twilight Princess and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, which were, I think one was 68 and the other one was about 77, I think, in the end, pound. And the only thing more expensive I've ever bought was probably the GameCube Game Boy player for my GameCube. And that set me back £100, and then I had to... And that came with a Japanese game disc, because the PAL ones are so sought after, and they'll set you back £100, £150 just for the disc, just to run it. So, but yeah, so I am still streaming Tears of the Kingdom, so I will continue to keep streaming that. And if anyone can recommend me any more Castlevania games, I am looking at the 360 ones or PS3 versions. I haven't decided yet. Lords of Shadow 1 and 2, and I'm just trying to find some ideas for videos, because I'm really struggling at the moment to come up with something that is interesting. I'll tell you one thing that is really, really cool, and it's not, and back on the Zelda thing, is this. I bought this ages ago. I've never done a video and I've never shown it off, but it was about £30, and it is the complete guide to Legend of Zelda. This would be the Tears of the Kingdom one. And I think it was £30, was it? It was on Amazon, wasn't it? Doesn't actually say. But it's absolutely gorgeous. So it was £30. Obviously, you know, you don't need guides, and they don't come around very much, but it is pretty spectacular looking. And it has helped me with certain things on Tears, because the game is so in-depth. There's so much that goes on in the game. So many places you can go. I can be doing like an objective in this game, and then I'll get distracted by I seen a mountain with fire, and oh, I'll go over there, whilst I'm in the middle of like a quest objective. So it has everything, lists everything. It gives you basically it shows you everything is, but the game is so large that you can do everything in any sort of order you want. But I would recommend this if anyone's interested. There's also a Breath of the Wild one. And I imagine the other games would have guides as well, but this one, it's just so nice. I've had this ages, long time. It must be about a year or two I've had this, and I was looking through on the internet for, you know, how to do this, how to do that. But it is nice sometimes to have a book, and it's so well made as well. The quality is good. It's quite a lot of cash, I suppose, for a book for £30, but it shows you literally, you know, everything. And the game is so big, so in depth. Yeah, the Wellspring, that's the one I've just done, which is like the water temple. But as I said, it lists everything like that, side quests, objectives. Absolutely everything's on there. And we've even got these little for tagging where you are in the book and stuff, so you don't forget. Kind of old-fashioned, but really, really cool. But I'm also going to probably do a video maybe on the consoles I've got, basically, the collection, the stuff I've got. And I'll go from there, basically. But yeah, I thought I'd just show this off because it's just something I've never really talked about.